So I feel kind of like an episode of Well There's Your Problem because I'm not doing slides, but we're doing something anyway. Unfortunately, there's been discourse among the four, three, two. I don't know. Somebody got a bug up their. Can I say ass without being censored? I don't know.
You're doing
Somebody
editing.
got some. Yeah, some. I guess. Yeah, somebody got a bug up their nose about we need a new intro because the current one is potentially bordering on copyright laws, which hurts my feelings a little bit. And so Jared and Art have played around with some things, and I said in the group text the other day that I would try my best at it. So I to the listener, they don't know this, but I'm sharing my screen and I have three samples of three different projects I'm working on that I think all equally fit the show pretty well. So what we're going to do is live on the show sample the first couple ones here. I'm praying this works like I think it's going to.
I'm
So
afraid. I'm sorry, y'all.
let's see what we got here. Let me show the volumes up. So anyway, here we go.
8 years
don't
later.
listen to anything that's potentially incriminating. Bonte, please shut up. Thank you. All right. Anyway. So here we go. This is version 1 of the intro.
Scared.
All right, here we go. So I think this is very, it's got a very homely feel, a very family feel, a very family friendly. So, I thought, I put this together today and I thought, this would be perfect.
It's almost like family matters to us or something.
Yeah, it's almost like family does matter to us. And, because it's not the whole version, any potential ABC or MSNBC entertainment lawyers can't say that it belongs to anything else. Anyway, here's number 2. This is a more, I think I would call it a professional one, like more of a, kind of a corporate feeling here. Okay. So we, again, totally 100% original, not copywritten in any way.
Not at all.
I lost the window. This is great. So yeah, this is number 2.
I like that. It's very upbeat.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to play the whole thing because I don't want to get in trouble. In the event that, it sounds similar to something else. And then, I was like, well, we are a racing podcast, so what's racing related that I can put on here? And then I found this, and then I put this together today. It isn't what you think it is, and that's the best part.
Oh, no.
This is actually probably a deep cut that, again, I made. It's totally original. Don't worry about it. Wait a minute. Oh. All right. Okay. That's not what that was supposed to be. All right. Well,
Carl's like, I got it. You don't got it, buddy.
So much for the bit. The bit's done. It was supposed to be something else, and it wasn't. And oh man. Yeah, the joke didn't work, unfortunately. I didn't land. But you know what? It's better this way.
How fearful I was that he was going to play that certain song by Liberty Media.
But anyway, so those are the options, folks. You've heard them here on the pod. We're going to put 3 options on the poll, despite there only being 2 sources. So make sure you look on the Twitter after the episode airs, and you're going to choose which one. Unless eventually Art gets a hold of this and tells me I can't do it, and then in that case, I'll find something else out. And knowing him as being, the arbiter of no fun, that's probably going to happen. So,
they opened up a little small track in Danville called it Dixie Speedway, and they want to get some black drivers, and they thought they didn't know who to approach, so they went to the police department to find out what black guys had speeding records and things like that. So they told them they want somebody to drive a race car to see me. So that's how I started racing.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is former NASCAR driver Bill Lester.
I'm NASCAR driver Natalie Decker.
NASCAR's Chief Hype Officer Mamba Smith.
And you're listening to Victory Lane.
Victory Lane.
Victory Lane Vibes. Let's go.
376, Antron Brown is the Top Fuel champion.
About Rajat Fruit, he's never led the field to green on a start or a restart, Michael. What a moment for him right now. His 30th truck start came up from the Arkham Menard series. Just praying There it is. Raja Karuth wins it at Las Vegas. First career win, gets it done.
You stayed in the game, and it was just one step, one punch, one round at a time, and my guys had me a great stop, and we just executed. So there's more to come for sure.
His final time through 3 and 4. He's gonna do it. Bubba Wallace wins at Kansas.
What they gonna say now, baby? Let's go!
Championship record is equals. Lewis Hamilton wins the Turkish Grand Prix and is a 7-time champion of the world.
Get in there, Lewis. What a way to do it, mate. What a way to win your 7th world title.
Welcome to another episode of Victory Lane Vibes. We are your hostesses with the mostesses. Spring break is over. Everybody's back. Class is back in session. We have Bonte, we got Kiana, we got Carl. He came from the depths of wherever he lived for the past month and a half. And around here on this podcast, we make good on our promises. Our March Madness, I'm gonna get fined for that. Bracket Challenge winner, Jer.
Hi.
Good evening.
Hey. Hello.
How you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
We doing good. We pay our debts around here, you know what I'm saying? We pay our debts. But so we're gonna go through a quick rapid fire interview session so we can learn more about our contest winner. Jer, who is your favorite NASCAR driver and why?
Bubba Wallace, just because I think he has had to deal with a lot and still does really well. And I enjoy seeing him do well.
Are you an early bird or a night owl?
Oh, early bird. I'm up at like 6 a.m. even on days
Absolutely
off.
Nope. If you could instantly master one skill, what would it be?
Ooh, I'm blowing my 60 seconds here. I don't know. Fly a plane. I think that'd be cool.
That's fair. Do you have a race day routine?
Wake up really early, make sure the car is packed as early as possible. And I mean, early, just early. Get out there as soon as I can. Make sure I have sunscreen.
That's fair. What do you do for the beautiful people at home field?
I'm the fulfillment manager for home field.
Oop, you hear that, y'all? So if you want your orders fulfilled properly, be sure you order them with the promo code VOV24 for your exclusive 15% discount off your first order. Fantastic. Oh, last question. What's your favorite podcast to be interviewed by?
Oh, well, it's got to be you guys. One and only.
Good answer. Good answer. Everybody's schedule got back in order. Jer's here. She's going to join in on the craziness. She may not come back next time, but we're going to offer it anyway. Texas lived up to Texas. I saw a stat before the race weekend started saying that of all the races and all the tracks that they go to, Texas is like top 3 for natural cautions. Well, they didn't lie about that one. Friday night, Kyle Busch under the lights. You already know what happened. Stage 1W, stage 2W. He got the W. Kyle Busch wins the truck race in not so seemingly dramatic fashion, and gives Realtree. You couldn't see the car; you can only see the numbers. Their first win in NASCAR. You got it. You thought I did.
I gotta be real, man. I don't think that scheme was really good. I know a lot of people were. Yeah, I don't understand.
I like the green. I just I don't care for hunting camo. Like
neon green does not scream camo to me.
It's weird. Yeah, it's a weird combo.
Yeah, Hasbro have a lock on orange.
Yeah.
All over the place.
So, yeah.
But yeah, there was a truck race. He wins and doesn't get any points, but I guess he's happy for his efforts. What do we think of the truck race?
Mm-hmm. Usual typical truck race, but what race wasn't that bad? People seem to be. I enjoyed it, of course. Good race between Busch, Eckes, and Hine. Hine was coming in. Busch, he could have won, but it is what it is. Raja, I don't know what the hell happened with him with the flat tire and just couldn't rebound, but in the rebounding towards the end to 12th place, so that was good. So I'll give him that. But other than that, just a usual truck race out of Texas.
Poor Thad, though. That was.
Is it poor Thad? Or
I mean,
is it why you wasting your grandfather's money?
That was. It was funny, but it
just-
wasn't funny because I just knowing what truck two. I mean, obviously for him, probably not, but like for that to happen anywhere else, like it's frustrating. Because I mean, that's just a horrible way to have your race go. Like it went left and got stuck there. I don't know. But it definitely looked like you could tell something just like broke because that was crazy how that happened. But yeah, I mean, after what we've seen this season, that's probably like one of the least crazy things. I mean, we had a whole butt fall out of trucks, so you know, like it still could have been worse. But no, Roger did a good job recovering. I mean, obviously, first time he'll be fine, and I'm sure he learned plenty from this. And next time he's there, he'll probably cook. I love Kyle, so I'm glad he won. But yeah, I was hoping Corey was gonna win that because he was close. But that was awesome to watch.
Jerry, what'd you think?
I mean, it's always fun to watch Kyle Busch in trucks, honestly. That's kind of what it boiled down to for me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of it. I'm sure people at the track had a lot of fun. The broadcast doesn't always pick up what I want to be seeing, I guess. And I'm sure a lot of people echo that sentiment, but
Yeah.
Kyle Busch swept it. That was great.
Yeah.
I like how you so like politely said that. That's probably the nicest.
Just kindly saying the broadcast sucked. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a great battle for fourth going on, and like Fox somehow finds some kids in the infield with custom made like Denny Hamlin suck shirts, and like they're like, oh, there's some kids that are fans of Hamlin, because Fox has a kid associated with the obsession. So
Yeah, very weird. I don't know what.
Yeah, they're very weird about everything, and yeah, I thought from what I did see of the truck race, I don't know, there's a lot to be desired. I'm happy that Kyle Busch won because I ain't gonna lie to you, man, it ain't looking wonderful right now. So I mean, whatever a little bit of hair he has left, I'm sure he's been pulling out. So
Oh my god.
I'm sure that win was good for that. I've been really impressed. I mean, I've been impressed with him for a long time, but I've been really impressed with Corey Haim. Like year over year, is just getting just better and better and better. Like it's actually really incredible. So I'm excited to see him this year, and with Carson out of the way, I think it's going to come down between Eckes and Haim for the title. I think, and that'll be cool to watch. Apparently, I saw a tweet, and people were like mad that they were talking about how many Bill McNally trucks in what's the other team that's got all those Chevys? The one that Hosevar drove for.
Spire.
Aspire.
Oh, Spire, Nice, whatever.
Nice,
Yeah. And I guess they're talking about the fact there's like 9 of those trucks combined in the field, and I'm just like,
damn.
There's a lot. I didn't look at the entry list, but it was pretty good. Anyway, outside of that, it seemed like a pretty typical truck race. But yeah, Thad Moffitt, man, he might just need to go work at the Petty Museum because, buddy, I just don't know what to tell you anymore, man. So
that it was him not explaining what happened in the accident, which made me think that he took the steering wheel off.
Yeah.
Just mid-race.
Like, man, that's a rage quit.
Yeah, I'm saying, look, I've been there.
Oh, yeah, we know.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, nah.
We all used to unplug our cousin's controller when they started winning.
Dog.
Every time.
Is this the race car driver equivalent to like unplugging the phone when you work in a call center and you don't want to hear that customer anymore?
Oh my god!
Just take the wheel. Just be
man.
I don't know what happened. My phone just went off.
Oh my god!
No.
The PTSD,
I'm so sorry.
Man.
Lightning hit the house. I lost power.
I tell you what, a handful of years ago, I used to work at a call center, and like when they announced they were closing it, every so often, I would just like my phone would just randomly just turn off, and I don't know what happened, and I would get these really very livid emails from other reps about like they think you hung up on them, and I'm just like, well, Maybe I did. So
prove it.
Yeah, prove it. You can. I mean, they could, but who cared?
I do want.
Go ahead, Bonte.
I do want to say something about the race though. What
What's
the
up?
hell is up with Chris Wright always wrecking every time he race? Like, come on, dog. God damn, man.
Yeah. To the point
It's
where
like
other drivers are like, "Yo, get that thing out the road, bro." Like, yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why Tricon decided to let him race. Damn, put Bubba in the car. Shit, put Chris.
Yeah, because that boy got money. Chris Wright, more like Chris Wright onto the back of the damn
he
record.
got money that know how to wreck the damn trucks or cars every time.
Yeah, I don't know. He tears up a lot of stuff. I don't know, man.
Crashes. He suck.
Yeah, they need to find a way. He needs to give Blake Lothian some money so he can make up for that start at Martinsville last week.
When was the last time he drove? Hold on.
Blake?
No, Chris.
Before this weekend, I don't know.
That's what I was trying to figure out. Like, I don't
look up 2024 NASCAR Truck Series Big Wrecks, and then you'll have your answer.
Pretty much.
Look that up on YouTube. All right, I'm done. I'm sorry.
The fact that he ain't wrong tells you a lot.
I don't know. It's been a minute.
Y'all take a week off and y'all hot style.
Hey,
like
man.
it. Okay.
I've missed out on so much.
I've been off for 2 months now, a month and a half.
Oh, y'all come back guns blazing. All right, well, let's keep it going.
I miss it.
Saturday afternoon, Xfinity also Xfinity'd. All of the wrecking you could ever ask for, you got it. And shamefully, I guess to Brandon's dismay last week, Sam Mayer did win, steals it from Ryan Sieg. 0.002 of a second is your margin of victory for the Xfinity race.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a good race?
It's Texas.
Yeah.
We ain't even going to ask that question. It's Texas.
And that's a great point Kiana makes that I want to talk about after we talk about the Cup race. But, yeah, I mean, it's Texas. The Xfinity package can put on a great race. The drivers not so much sometimes because they get a little silly. But
mostly drivers.
I thought it was all right, man. I didn't really have any feelings, either way about it. It was okay. It was pretty Texas. I mean, the finish was great. And that was cool. Ryan Sieg has been around a really long time. I mean, and he's dealt with some scandalous people in his past and all that kind of stuff as far as partners and stuff like that goes. But to go from the Sieg family fielding like 3 or 4 start and park trucks like a decade ago to finishing second now, where that program is, that was really cool. I wish they could have won. For some reason, people hate Sam Mayer. I don't really know what that's about. I think he's pretty cool. I mean, his only disqualifying attribute is that he's from Wisconsin, and that's just disappointing. But so is Alan Kawicki. So I mean, you can't pick and choose the good guys, I guess. So there's that.
Oh yeah, I ain't trying to cut you off. My bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
I was gonna say like I used to hate him, but I'm like, yeah, he cool. He a pretty cool dude. I ain't got nothing against him.
If Bubba's cool with him, I'm cool with him. That's kind of how I feel. It's like I can tell if Bubba ain't cool with somebody, I'm like, no, I need to watch them. But he seems cool with him, so I ain't got no problem with him. He ain't done nothing to make me like hate him.
I don't know. He just like he got Xfinity. I was like, he not that bad usual because I used to hate that man trucks. I'm sorry, trucks or in ARCA, but he's been pretty chill. Happy got the win at Texas though. So that was pretty hard fought.
Jared, what'd you think?
I did miss the Xfinity race because I was out hiking, but it was kind of interesting coming out of the woods basically and checking Twitter and seeing half people really excited for Sam Mayer and the other half just being like, he did not deserve that. I thought it was cool to see him win. I was bummed that I missed the finish. It seemed like it was really exciting. But I mean, watching the replays was cool to see. So
it's one thing NASCAR can manufacture. It's restarts. Which leads me to the Cup race.
Now hold on, I ain't even get to say. Wait a minute.
There you go.
Yeah,
trying to jump the line. All right, I see how it is.
I'm excited.
Clearly, first of all, shout out to Ryan Truex. He got shafted. I'm sad about that. Riley Herbst, don't know why you tried to take like the whole top 10 with you when your car died. That was weird.
You know exactly why.
Yeah, I do know why, but I'm gonna shut up. But congrats to Sam. He was cool. Sad Allgaier got that close again, and it didn't happen, but it's coming. He'll get it. Okay, now let's drag everybody in cup. Let's go.
Let's go.
So the cup race. Chase Elliott did what he was supposed to do last week.
Yeah.
And I guess he waited to get Hooters their first win, but his first win since
talking of 1993 to
years, decades, eons. Chase Elliott's back in victory lane. Yeah, we'll start there. I'll stop myself. Vontae, what'd you think of the cup race? I'm telling you,
I didn't watch it, so I don't know. I'm joking.
We really
I'm
had.
joking. I'm joking. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear it. I'm joking. I'm joking. I watched the race, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I enjoyed it throughout not because of the crashes, not because of the caution. It was actually kind of pretty all right racing. It's a lot of cautions, and then a lot of drivers pissing me off. Jay Briscoe. But other than that, I thought it was cool. Happy for Chase Elliott to get his win for the first time since Talledega in 2022 in October. So happy to see him back in the playoffs getting the win though. My boys, damn it, Texas got my boy Bell dirty. But other than that, I'll talk about Bubba on a 23-11 corner. We'll get to that. But other than that, race is pretty decent.
Now, Carl, I know you threatened to turn it off. Did you actually turn it off?
No, I didn't turn it off. I sat at the dog park with a terrible grimace on my face as it sunk in that that Bubba got shafted once again. I mean, granted, it was kind of his own fault, but no, I mean it's cool. The thing about Texas is, man, I tell you what. Since the revamp, it is abysmal to watch on TV, and I think the track does not really lean itself to really good angles. Period. But in person, it's very good. But somehow Marcus Smith has made it to where this racetrack is like got BBL and duck lips because
oh my god,
it's just catfishing everybody on TV. Because it's not that bad in person.
He said the track.
But
it's the Drake track. Oh god.
Yeah, it's the Drake track of race.
Wow.
So like every time we go to Texas, I take that into consideration, having been there, because I love the facility, and I'll get into that later. But outside of that, man, I mean, I thought the racing was pretty good. I think the track has started to kind of separate a bit, so it's got some character. I've noticed that there were some seams just from what I saw on camera over the weekend with 3 races, and I feel like it didn't really take rubber that well, so that was kind of not great.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I mean, it just the thing about 1.5 mile tracks with this car and tire combo is you never know what you're going to get. You know what I mean? And so. I can't say it was standard text for the Cup Series, but I mean, it was pretty good. Happy for Chase, more happy for Hooters. I was kind of dreading the inevitable Chase Elliott win, not because I don't like Chase, but just because like they have. I mean, I said it like a while ago on the show. I think even last year I said it to where like people talk about like, oh, they shove Bubba Wallace down our throats all the time, and then it's just like NASCAR media and posting and talking about Hendrick Motorsports is like somebody with like a dog that posts like 16 pictures a day. So basically me, like they can't help it. And so like I was dreading like the Chase Elliott redemption story. It's like it is 42 races. Jeff Gordon had a longer winless span than that. You know what I mean? But for him to do the Polish victory lap and to honor Alan, I just got through doing my annual listen of the Dinner with Racers, Alan Kowicki special. Y'all should go listen to that if you can. It's great. It brings tears to my eyes every time. That was cool. That was a really standout moment for me for him. So his fans be damned. I was happy with the way that ended. much better than a Ross Chastain win. I'll tell you that much. So, yeah, I was down in Florida this week, man. They drive just like them. So, but yeah, that's all I had to say about it. Jared's silent because he's laughing so hard. I was like,
that is so funny. Oh man, Kiana.
Yeah, congrats to Chase. I'm still bummed he didn't win in Martinsville because I really wanted to see that in person. I'm gonna be forever mad about that, but whatever. One thing that did crack me up was them playing Montel Jordan as Chase was doing his burnout. If y'all didn't realize that, go back and watch the broadcast because I have been cracking up. I don't know why. It just seems so out of place. Like we're in Texas and you're playing Montel Jordan as Chase Elliott does a victory burnout. I don't know. It cracked me up. But yeah, it was an interesting race. I kind of got tired of it by the end. I didn't even really watch the ending, but it was an up and down day. Clearly, Priest is back on my cannot stand list for reasons I probably don't need to mention. But he's great racing in other series that he does, but whenever he's in a cup car, I just have to like. Anyway, yeah, there's definitely some work that needs to be done with Texas. I don't think it's going to happen. It's just it's weird to watch on TV. I feel like I would probably enjoy it better in person, which is really overall all of these tracks are so much better in person, just because the broadcasting is not the greatest. But yeah, I mean, Denny was going for it. I can't be mad at him for spending the way he did. I like that at least people were like trying to win, and it didn't seem like people were holding back. I will say that. It was kind of just like everybody was gunning for it, which I enjoy. So at least we did get some of that. But oh god, it was frustrating. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't a terrible race. I think it got exhausting near the end. That's probably a better way to say it.
Yeah, it kind of felt like one of those races that never ended. Like it's just caution after caution after caution. And I'm like, this is cool. Yeah, it's like, this is cool.
Yeah.
It's creating a lot of like really great storylines. Like people who are at the front wind up at the back and vice versa throughout the whole race. But you get to the end of the race and you're like, oh my God, that was so much time of my life I'll never get back.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, I will say it was kind of funny watching Ross get a taste of his own medicine, but I know a lot of people are having discussions about that. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
I'm gonna be real for a second. So I don't mean to cut in on you, Monte, but I was driving and I was listening to the radio broadcast yesterday, and they mentioned post race that Ross didn't want to comment, and literally while driving, I did the whole like hands to my eyes, like wiping the tears away, like boo hoo, I don't want to talk to the media because I did what happened to me is what I do to everybody else all the time.
I finished 32nd.
Like bro, like anyway, I'll come back to it, but yeah, I'm very much here for the Ross Chastain pack. So anyway, Bonto.
Me with Austin Dillon, Chase Briscoe. Miss somebody else, but whatever.
It's just interesting. I'm as you guys are speaking, I'm watching the NASCAR Snapchat Instagram story update where they have like the stories in the app, and it's like 32 things long. And I was like, man, it really was that many wrecks yesterday.
It really was.
Yeah, golly. But I just wanted to say all of Bubba's ops got what they deserved. So that was karma for that. And I just realized that Hocevar spun, and he also got a top 10, which is kind of crazy. I guess like after if you didn't kill your car,
pretty much,
a la everybody else, you'd be like, oh, I shouldn't do that anymore, and you could come back and actually get through the field and race. So it was to Jared's point, it was a caution fest at the Echo Park Automotive 500. Lots of likes to bright contestants. It's just crazy how I don't know what Marcus and the design team were thinking creating the track the way that they did, but um, y'all need to move that drainage thing in turn 4. I mean, my goodness, we always talk about how expensive these cars are, and you wadded up half the field just because of a bump, a seemingly harmless, innocent bump, just killed everybody and killed everything. So, good on Chase to win. I know that was good for NASCAR, and I know that's why Jeff Gluck's poll is skewed the way that it is, just because Chase won. Because otherwise, I still am calling for all the bulldozers in all the children's books to line up on the outside of Texas Motor Speedway and tear it down. Get rid of it.
It's
still tear it down, get rid of it, turn it to Walmart.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something, man. It's more viable than you would ever believe. Texas Motor Speedway, for those who haven't been there, and none of you have, but it is wedged in entirely now by warehouses. On 3 sides of it, it is an island or a peninsula because on both sides, one side of it is a Walmart online ordering warehouse. The other side, I think, is like a gun place. You go around the corner, and back behind it, there's a place where you get they store Tide Pods for some odd reason. There's another place. Anyway, all I'm saying is, yeah, it's a warehouse. You pick up Tide Pods down there. Anyway, all I'm saying is this: is pretty soon Amazon's going to come in with eminent domain and buy the place up and turn it into the world's largest Amazon distribution center. So it may not be that far off. Or Buc-ee's will expand across the street. Which that's
bro.
As I said,
yeah. Well,
Kiana had this idea, and people yell at me because I was being facetious, but apparently people took it serious, and now I'm going to take it serious and say, yeah, tear it down, make another Buc-ee's, make it a whole Buc-ee's city.
Tear it down.
Tear it down.
Yeah, what's crazy is like that part of the area. It's really grown up in the last handful of years, and yeah, I don't know, man. They not trying to be like doomer posting or anything, but they may be in a little bit of trouble because in that area of Texas, like the Roanoke, Fort Worth area, like real estate's getting like really, really popular. Like a lot of they're building like these houses and these strip malls, and it's it's ugly to look at, but it's going everywhere. And I wouldn't be surprised if they don't see like an auto club situation where like some land development company offers them an obscene amount of money for it and they have to do something with it. So, but yeah, like I was telling, what part of the show are we on? Are we talking about everything in between the Cup race and 2311, or what are we corner? Or what am I doing here?
That's essentially what we're doing. That's
okay. All right. Okay. Cool. What's my line anyway? But no, I was telling my dad today. We were talking about the race, and I just said, look, it just like with everything else NASCAR has done the last 7 years, they got it wrong, or SMI got it wrong. And they are at some point are going to have to admit they got it wrong, and somebody's going to have to spend money to fix it, or just cut it as a loss and just lose the place altogether. I don't know what to tell you, because it's like yesterday, it was all right. They're like the self spins from the front were definitely a product of, like I said, the track seeming to seam out. Like I said, that drainage bump, all that kind of good stuff, but it still is just a very narrow groove for a 1.5 mile track. It's not conducive to great racing. You need a lot of either inexperienced, impatient, or just ill-timed maneuvers to cause cautions around there, which is what happened. But I don't know. Here, even with the caution fest yesterday, the late restart, the last lap wreck between second and third place, all that stuff. McDowell spinning from the outside like Kyle Larson did last year, going for the lead, like all that stuff. It still is not a good racetrack. And if we were going here twice a year, we could go back here in 6 months or 3 months or whatever, and it'd be a totally different race. So I'm not willing to say it was. I'm not willing to say Texas is back or it's fixed or anything like that. It's very much situational, I think. So
yeah.
The situation calls still for wrecking balls and bulldozers.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'd be sad to see it go. It's a great facility, but if it means we just go to Charlotte, like we just go to the Charlotte Oval one more time before going to the Roval, I'd be happy with that.
Or just like if okay, so your point, you like the facility. Let's redo the track. I don't want Atlanta Part 2. I want like a cross between what we lost at Chicagoland and Charlotte. I want to, give me some progressive banking, but don't get crazy. I don't need 3/4 of the lap them turning. That's weird.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I if the facility is what it is, and clearly Marcus is not gonna get rid of it, just redo it. We can take it off the schedule for a year.
That's the thing. Like, just own
And
up
just
to
do
it.
it.
Like,
Right.
stop being ridiculous about it and being childish. Like, that's the part that gets me angry, is that people in the sport do not want to like recognize when they've made a huge mistake until it becomes like so big of a problem that it's unavoidable, and then they have to. Like, you could have been way ahead of this whole media cycle, way before drivers start calling you out publicly. Just fix it. Like, why do we have to, publicly embarrass you and shame you into fixing it? Like, it shouldn't have to come to that. But it just feels like whenever these situations happen, that's what it comes to. So, I don't know. Denny was right. People can be bad. I don't really care.
Oh yeah, agreed. Agreed.
Or just take the pickup trucks out of Kentucky and give Kentucky its 2 dates back while you fix Texas.
Oh,
if SMI has to keep its SMI
Yeah,
dates.
I mean, yeah, Kentucky is a great facility. Look, man,
Kentucky.
yeah, it's a great track.
Just need a better car.
What do we know, Vontae? You said
No. He right about Kentucky. It's not a bad track to race at. Just that make a package for that track. They can cook.
I think this car would do fantastic.
Yeah, I think it would do great at Kentucky. The thing is like, look, man, if you admit that you're wrong, I don't think it'll be the bad press or the spiral that they think it is, right? Like, nobody can blame you for trying all of these innovative things in an era, from 2017 through 2019. They made all these changes, seemingly overnight, stage racing and, adding these different tracks in 2020, 2021 and revamping Texas and Bristol Dirt, also the kinds of things, the ideas they had in like a 5-year span. Nobody can fault you for wanting to find something new and do all this stuff. And you know what? It didn't work. That's fine. We don't enjoy it. Just, swallow it and go on. Take your medicine and go on with it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't know, but I'm sure people think like it's a bad look. But in my mind, what is even a worse look is when you have people like Bob Hawkers and Jeff Gluck on Twitter, these independent report, well, I guess Hawkers are independent, but when you have media members and drivers and any fans who are all very loud about like how bad of a decision is, how bad this place is, X, Y, and Z, like, to me, that's worse than just admitting you're wrong and spending the money you made from selling Auto Club revamping Texas. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but hopefully they figure out a solution sometime soon. I think everybody knows the gist of the fact that we all think Texas sucks. I know it was a conversation a couple of years ago. I don't know what happened to that. It was a conversation some time ago about they were going to revamp Texas, and that kind of died out. I guess that's why Gossage eventually got fired. I don't know, but anyway. So,
guy.
Yeah. Also, whose dumbass decision was it to get rid of the scoring pylon?
That shit was stupid.
Yeah, that
as
was.
hell, dog.
That's so
That shit
dumb.
was stupid.
And somebody was like, well, let's look at the TV. I'm gonna tell you something, man. That
No,
TV
I like
is
the
big as hell.
pylon.
That TV is big as hell, but I mean, if the sun is beating down on you, the glare, you cannot see what's on that damn TV from the front stretch.
Yeah.
The only time that TV is really good is in the evening races or whatever. Like I said, that it's wonderful then, fantastic. In the middle of the day, nobody's watching that damn thing. Like, what are you doing? I don't know. Anyway, what's next?
Well, what's next is
whoever has something else to say. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I know we had a tangent. Does anybody have anything to add to the tangent section?
Yeah, well,
I'm good.
2311 seems to love finishing 4th and 7th. The results are inverse this week. Tyler Reddick finishes 4th. Bubba finishes 7th in a whirlwind of a day for both of them at Texas. I'm shout out to Bubba. Y'all know how this goes.
What a rebound, bro.
Wheelman wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And he was able to keep his finish, keep his points, top 10 in points right now, currently, before we go back to Talledega. So all in all, just a really great, weekend. So apparently there was something happened with Tyler Reddick's pit stop, one of the last ones. I don't think it was that slow, but apparently he lost some time. But clearly he still had the speed to be there, to be in the conversation, even after he got up in the loosey goosey, trying to chase down Truex. He was still able to come back and bounce back and get a good finish out of it. So that's my 2 cents on 2011. Let's go around the horn. Anything you want to add about it? Kiana, you can start off.
Man, first of all, okay, this is what I gotta say. And I know people are gonna get fussy with me again. I don't really care. Y'all can kiss my butt. But I get the pit crew conversation. We all know it needs to change. It's gonna change. They're working on it. It is not gonna happen overnight. Okay. I'm tired of having this conversation with y'all every week. It's not gonna happen overnight. Get over it. Okay. Unless y'all want to go audition, think you can do it better than what these guys are currently doing, and I doubt 99% of y'all can. Just let it go for now. Like, we are only a few races in. We still have a long way to go this season. They are already doing a lot better than they were last year. I need everyone to go remember what we were looking at in April 2023, because it was abysmal. Okay. I saw it in person. Right.
Too.
I saw it in person with Michael Jordan in attendance. Okay. And it was horrible. It was a clown show. They are doing so much better now. And I need people to realize that it is not going to be instant gratification with this. This is something they're going to have to work on long term. It may come to, hey, so and so's leaving, we're bringing in somebody new, cool. But clearly they are not trying to do that right now. They're trying everything that they can in the book to avoid doing that before they, start picking and choosing who's going to switch teams, leave the team, whatever. So I need y'all to just let them cook, let them do whatever plan they're working on. They are improving, but it's going to take some time. Like, I'm tired of hearing this every week. I'm tired of 2311 being the butt of the joke. They still finished top 10, both cars. A lot of y'all's faves didn't even make the top 20, so I don't want to hear it, okay? They are trying. Let them try. Let them figure it out. We have a long way to go. That's all I want to say. Good job, Bubba.
Bonte.
Roller coaster of a day for the boys. Tyler, top 10 all race. He was fine to like the last stop, but even if he had that issue, he still ran down, didn't he? So he was already all right. You just could tell he was a little annoyed that he didn't win, but it's all good though. Bubba, what a day! Went from lead, then almost crashed, saved the car from Chase Briscoe. That guy, I'm sick of him. Anyway, I'm sorry. The fact that he scored 5th of the most points yesterday was fantastic. Every point counts for my boy, and then the fact that he having this early in the season a really good start. That's why I needed. Let him continue to cook. That win coming, but towards the end, no wonder why people call him the restart god. He had 18. He literally got up 18 positions in like the last 3 caution laps. Last 3 cautions. And then the fact that he finished 7th throughout being P25 pretty much all race. Man, what a day. Let's keep the momentum up.
Jer.
So I watched the Cup race on a replay this morning, and if I had gone, like, I try to stay off of Twitter during races that I don't watch, just like live, just to obviously avoid spoilers. But like the little bit that I saw, everybody was talking about the pit stops, and so I go into watching this race thinking that it was going to be a 23-11 like pit stop massacre, like they were just going to be horrible, like pulling a Ferrari like left and right,
Right.
and they were no different than anybody else in this race. Like everybody freaking out about the pit stops in this race specifically. Please,
Yeah.
Kyle Larson lost a wheel. Nemechek almost lost a wheel.
Thank
he had
you.
to pull it back in. Yes, like
it was fine. The only issue
yeah,
they
they're
was
like,
sorry, cut you off. I'm about to say the only issue that Bubba and them was having was them getting to the cars and stuff. That's it. It wasn't really pit crew issues.
No, and then like I think Reddick's I think they said on the broadcast Reddick's pit stop was like 2 seconds longer than Denny's, but like he caught back up. It was fine. Like yes, it's frustrating because they could be much further ahead if they didn't have these pit stop issues too, but like Bubba also spun out and he still caught back up and finished 7th. So like we can't just blame everything on the pit crew because they're not the ones driving the car, and also like yes, they can win and lose the race, but also things happen in the race that neither the drivers nor the pit crews can control. And again, 2311 was not like the worst pit crew or like the worst pit crews in this race.
And people were like arguing with me about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
ridiculous.
Like, are we watching the same thing? Like, do you not see people's tires falling off? This happens, okay? It's gonna happen.
JGR was having tire issues too. It's not
they
just
are always having issues. Yes. And that's what I'm saying. Like, people keep hyper focusing on 2311, and it's like getting to the point where I'm like, do y'all even realize how you're talking about 2311 versus the other teams? Go look at the standings. Tell me who's in the top 10 and who's not. You know, like even with all these issues, they are still figuring it out and figuring out how to get the right points, at least, you know, till we get a win. But my God, like they are not the worst out there. You've got to stop doing this thing every week. Like, oh, gonna be another 2311. You know, shut up. Like, I'm tired of seeing that. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand what people were seeing yesterday. Yeah, okay, somebody may have messed up, but it was not as bad as the other people who messed up on better teams. Like, I don't want to hear it. Yeah, okay, it may happen every week, but every team messes up every week.
Yeah,
that's the sport.
We was pretty much fine. Just the only issue that was happening was like the cars. That's literally it. That's it. Picker was did a great job.
No one on that team is ever going to be, 0%, oh no, I didn't, I mean, there's going to be stuff that happens. Like, it's just, I think it's extremely unrealistic to expect a team to have everything just go perfectly. Because even when it does look perfect, I guarantee something went wrong. You just didn't know.
I mean,
and
the
it's
wind's
just like, yeah, it is. And that's why I just need people to like, I need people to just be realistic about this stuff and stop being so hyper focused on, whatever little thing that they want to hyper focus on each week, which with 2311, it's always the pit crew. I'm like, y'all need to pay attention to the actual race. Cause like there are so many things going on. Bubba was cooking. Tyler was cooking. My God. I'm just like, y'all weren't even paying attention to Tyler moving up through the field because y'all were so focused on his pit stop or whatever, or, Bubba clipping him a little bit. I hated that their pit boxes were next to each other because I had a bad feeling that was going to happen. But, I mean, it was just, people just choose these things to focus on, and they get mad at me when I point out that they really need to just pay attention to other stuff instead of focusing on that stuff. But, I mean, they're doing some great stuff this season, and I feel like it's getting overshadowed by people bringing up these same conversations every week. So I don't know. It's frustrating.
I do wonder if like, because I mean, it is so frustrating seeing it happen. Like, all you want is you want to see that win come. And I do wonder. Like, I know that has to factor into why people get so negative about the pit stops. But like, just relax. It's so early in the season, like you said.
Yeah,
like there's still so much time.
Out.
Yeah, just relax for like 2 seconds. Like,
enjoy. It's
not
like
the end of
that's
the
why I
world.
say. Yeah, like that's why I say I'm like, ultimately, I don't care about any of these conversations. I'm here to see cars go fast. That's what I love. Stuff happens. We know stuff is going to happen each week. At the end of the day, it's whatever. I don't need people starting arguments with me doing, y'all doing the most. Like, just chill out. We aren't even at the Olympic break yet. Like, chill out, please. My God.
Bro.
Yeah. So, as far as the picker conversation goes, it's like I said before. I think that I mean, we talk about like I've talked about it before, and it's just like teams win races, right? It's not just drivers. And so when you look at a team, I mean, it starts from the cars being set up, the data that they receive, the strategies they call, and the pit stops. I mean, it is an entire effort. And when you talk about a team, you talk about depth, right? The reason that Hendrick Motorsports and JGR are so successful is because they have that depth, right? They've spent 30 years building, 40 years building, an organization and a culture within those companies, and everything kind of fits into place. Like it's like puzzle pieces. And so you look at 2311, you look at Trackhouse, because I remember very distinctly, like in 2021, there was discourse about, and even beyond, there was discourse about like, oh, Trackhouse is better than 2311.
Yeah.
Even the last couple of years. And it's like both are kind of performing at the same level, and even RFK, if you really want to talk about like relatively new teams or teams that have been through a change or a rebuilding or whatever, it is frustrating for sure that you have situations where you feel like a strategy call is bad or a pit stop is bad, but it's like these things take time and you just have to move on and just accept that, control what you can control. As far as, I mean, that was a really good day. I mean, I think that, it was, I think what happened to Bubba, I think for me overshadowed the fact that team wise, it was a very good day. There weren't any, colossal like pit road mishandles or anything like that. No strategy bundles. As a matter of fact, they ran really good to get points in both opening stages, so that was cool. I just can't talk enough about, and I think I called in and said this a couple of weeks ago, but I can't talk enough about how much work Bubba has done in being able to have a day like yesterday, right? Have a day like you had Sunday where, you qualify 10th, the car is not handling great, you guys can't pass, X, Y, and Z, hangs out, is able to get to the front, try to take the lead. I don't know what really the issue with that spin was. It looks like, I mean, you're car in the middle, you go over a bump. I mean, you're just in a very compromised situation. But, we saw what is people would argue is the greatest driver of all time, not even 9 months ago, do the exact same thing and didn't keep it out of the wall. We saw Michael McDowell, who people tend to somehow, I think directly pit against Bubba for some reason, do the exact same thing, fighting for the lead. And Bubba kicked it out of the wall. Like I said, I mean, the 41 got some, but it is what it is. And he rallied back. Yeah, and didn't melt down. Rallied back to finish, 7th for the day. I think that's fantastic. I think he knew what he had to do, and he stuck to it. And so, I look at that. I look at last week in Martinsville. I look at Richmond. Atlanta with a broken car. I mean, just all these things. And I'm just like, man, the talent is there. The effort is there. Stop playing with me. Yesterday, all up and down the TL, I was seeing people, talk about how much he sucks. And I'm just like, if the driver of the 5, the 9, or the 24, and I'm not even trying to be funny when I say this, if the driver of the 5, the 9, and the 24 did the exact same thing, spun going for the lead and drove back to 7th, there would have been 6 different stories on it by now.
Yep.
All right. There would have been an entire video segmenting like the onboard of like what transpired there. So it is really frustrating because I feel like those moments for him aren't talked about, and they should be, because they would be highlighted if it was another driver. But besides that, like I said, overall, really good day. I'm very happy with how he came away with. I think he's very comfortably inside the playoffs right now. Just keep building on that, and and all I can ask for is just a win before the playoffs. That's it. I think the execution is mostly there. I think the lessons learned from him are there. We're going to Talledega, Kansas, and Dover over the next couple of weeks. Tracks I think that he can win at Charlotte. So I mean, I think that he's focused. The pace has been there. It's just yeah, I'm just very excited for what the future holds, and just really excited and hopeful that they iron these things out as the year goes on. So that's about it. So
before I let someone finish though, the man scored the 5th most points yesterday. cooking, and now he P9 and extended security in the playoffs. This April.
And think about, like I said, think about where we were last April, because we were we were in hell.
We was like 18th, 19th.
It was not. It was a. I mean, I don't even know how to describe that, but it was just so disheartening. Like, I mean, it was bad. Like, we were not.
Yeah,
it was bad.
Yeah.
And to come to this April and see where he is, my God.
It's the improvements just there. Like
the whole team.
He been cooking. Like, your whole team, yeah. P9, and he's still cooking.
And I mean, to think he made playoffs even after that start last year. No, if he's already starting like this, buckle up. That's all right. That's coming. I ain't worried about
it. He's been scoring a lot of stage points, and I love that. Especially Martinsville when he was in P2, like the last two stages. I think he'll get some more stage points at Dega. I'm kind of nervous for Dega at the same time though, but he'll cook. I just know for sure. Right. He is cooking out right now.
Yeah,
I'm excited for it.
Mm-hmm. It's just we say it all the time, but it just goes to show just the mental fortitude he has this season.
Yes,
being confident in himself, being confident in his abilities. He was literally 20th. And finished 7th. Like, shout out to everybody wrecking, but like, if he shows that he is not to be played with on restarts, and just to maximize the day, maximize the points, and get a stage points all day long, and then get a top 10 finish, that's something that we saw. That the first couple of rounds in the chase, and had he not got Suarez, we never know would have known what would have happened, last year in the chase, but. It just shows that consistency seems to be the message, at least from the cockpit of the 23 car. So I'm really looking forward to Talledega. Y'all already know he got a win there. Last spring race we saw what happened between him and Ryan. We didn't have the podcast then, but now I feel like we might see some shaking and some bacon, and we gonna see what happens Sunday. I ain't gonna talk about it too much, but
he knows how to get it done, and. I'm excited, for him to run good in the Lidios car. I've come to really like that and love that scheme, and
appreciate it.
I would love nothing more than a win in that car. Honestly.
Y'all already know I'm gonna be insufferable.
I'm ready.
I got my it's funny. I got my.
I got the full fit. I got the full fit now. Y'all are in trouble when he wins in that car. I
don't have the current one now, but I have his Lido's crew shirt from 2016 or 15.
Oh yeah, you did get that.
No matter, put it on. Still got a name on it.
Oh, I am.
Put that on. If anybody else doesn't have anything else for this segment of the show, it's time for lights too bright.
No, get those lights off. Off. Turn them off. They're too bright. Turn them off. Turn them off. Let's go. Ready? Turn off the lights. Turn off the lights.
I'm not going first. I got to do some research.
I will.
You can go first, Ken.
All right, let's go.
I'm going to nominate everyone talking trash about Jimmy Johnson. Because y'all know when to be quiet.
Facts.
And Kiana's tired of it. But let me read what he said. Because I feel like people are not paying attention again. like I was saying earlier, people do not pay attention. They just like to hyper focus on really irrelevant stuff. This is an article that was on the NASCAR website. And he literally said, "Of course I want to run as well as I can. I want to run all the laps, be able to help our company grow. And really work through this first half of the season with our change at Toyota. There's a lot of new things for us we're trying to get our arms around." Now, what part of that says that he's doing a championship full-time cup run? I would like to, I just want to know. Because for some reason, everyone wanted to come at me yesterday for pointing out that he is not trying to, be P1 all the time, blah, blah, blah. He is literally out there learning the car for his team because he's a team owner. Sometimes getting hands-on experience is really, really good instead of just doing simulators all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently that's too much information for people to digest. I don't know. But he also said, we've had some speed at times, but constantly having speed is a big objective for us right now. He said, I hope my participation this weekend helps us take a step in that direction. Okay. Like this, I just want people to understand how ridiculous y'all sound whining about Jimmy Johnson being in a Cup car. This is their first time, they're having their first season in Toyota. He has not been in, these next gen cars. He's learning stuff. This is a man who had 690 Cup Series starts. He owns a team backed by Richard Petty, of all people. And y'all think that he's just out there running laps so he can try to be a champion again? I mean, he's only doing 9 races this season. It's ridiculous. And I'm again tired of the discourse whenever Jimmy gets in a car. I don't want to hear this the rest of the season because I'm just gonna start fussing at people. It's ridiculous. Y'all need to learn how to just appreciate what's happening and the context of what's happening instead of jumping to these really weird conclusions. He's not ruining his legacy. He's a 7-time champ. He has nothing to prove to any of y'all or anyone else in this industry. It's Jimmy Johnson, okay? I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm tired. Cut it. That's it.
JR.
Is it wrong to say Nemechek for his whole race?
No.
Not absolutely.
Lord have mercy.
No.
Deserved.
Mine.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out how he even got into, who was it? Was it Bowman?
Yeah, he took Bowman.
Yeah. And that's one of 4 instances that he.
It was a Nemechek moment because that's what he does. But yeah.
Nemechek is lights too bright every week, it feels.
And in Xfinity and Cup, that's the craziest part. I mean, he does it in Xfinity, and then he gets in the Cup race and he does the same. It's this is why Jimmy's frustrated. He's got to figure this out. He's like, dude, this is how you have to drive the car. I'm trying to figure this out for you because, Lord, he's clearly not getting it. But again, I mean, that's why that research is important because he can tell them how to drive. I mean, that's it.
Right.
That's what he's trying to do.
Jimmy Johnson can get in there and he can say if it's Nemechek or if it's the car, and then we can all
literally think this part out. I'm not gonna say that, but he's trying to figure stuff out.
About this whole, Jimmy Johnson literally said in practice said, "I need to figure this car out."
That's literally what they did a whole article, and this is what I'm saying. People are not paying attention. They just run with these crazy narratives instead of looking at what he's actually saying.
No, they just see his name.
Yeah, they just they
stop at Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, it's so weird.
So I think a couple things about that real quick before I give mine is, this car is an entirely new platform.
Yep.
Not in stock car racing, period. It's not a package change. It's not more downforce, less horsepower. It's an entirely new package. Right. Everything about how this car races is different than how we've done it for the last 20 something odd years.
Yep.
So with that in mind, I mean, you're talking about a guy that's been out of the car last year, did not get the track time that, track time that we needed. We also are in an era where for some stupid ass reason, we still have 15 minutes of practice. I don't understand that.
Exactly.
And look, you're only ever going to learn so much on the sim. I mean, like I said, so there's that. Look, we are just in this era, and I've said it before, of if you don't unload fast because you don't know what you need to know, you're just not going to be there. That's I get so annoyed by the colleague comments because it's just look, man, we are not in the most competitive era of cup racing anymore, but we are probably in the hardest era to race in.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's so much they don't know, and there's so little way to gain information, X, Y, and Z, and it's not through lack of trying or whatever the case, or all that kind of stuff. So, and with that being said, look, man, there have been times this year where I haven't been on the show, but there have been times this year where I felt like John Hunter really had some moments shining through. And look, it's just, again, how do you know not to do these things in a car that you run 5 or 10 laps in practice in?
Yeah.
And those are just what they refer to as install laps, making sure the car isn't going to fall apart when you go to start the race. So I don't know, but Anyway, my lights too bright moment is got to be for RCR. Despite them finishing with 2 out of 3 cars in the top 10, this isn't just a one race deal. This is an entire season, bro. What the hell is going on in Winston-Salem, North Carolina? That you guys are just willingly just running 25th with a 2-time Cup champion. I don't
Austin
understand.
Dillon needs to retire. As simple as that. Okay. Anyways,
I don't know nothing about no Austin Dillon. I think
Austin
that's the name. I think that's the name of the guy that works at Zaxby's by my house. I don't know about no Austin Dillon, but I'm more concerned. I'm more concerned about like what's going on with the 8 car. So I've been saving this one for a little bit, but man, it's very frustrating to see Kyle Busch running like that. Because again, that's not Kyle. I don't think there's other things going on there.
Yeah.
And they need to figure it out. And it's frustrating to deal with. Also, yeah, man, like. Speaking of RCR lights too bright, how did Austin Hill go from having like a career day to just like junk? That's something else, but yeah, they're my recipient.
Was Austin Hill?
I mean, I could say how, but I might get.
Well, because it's just like he's gonna be in the 3 in the next couple of years.
Yeah,
and so, which I hope it's not the 3. Then I hope it's the 33.
Right,
or have Kyle Busch take over the 3 car.
No, there doesn't need to be a 3 car.
It really doesn't.
It's done and over with. Even as far back as 2014, like I always thought it was kind of weird that he ran the 3 like in that font and that skew and everything. And I understand it's a quote family number, close quote, but it's just like, well, come on, like we know you're trying to go after the admiration of all the senior fans. And then it was cool for like 1 year to see him running in Cup, and it was cool for a couple more years, and he eventually won in it. It was like, all right, well, enough is enough, because now I'm tired of seeing the 3 running like 28th every week or whatever, I mean. It's not all the way Austin's fault, but it's like 3/4 of the way.
Yes,
Austin's
it is.
fault, so. Well, I mean, look.
I'm a hater, bro. So I'm going with this man downfall every day. Sorry.
What do you hate Austin Dillon for? What
everything? Don't worry about it. Now you can finish.
Okay, I don't know, man. Look, man. I want to see both Dillon brothers succeed at some point, man. And I know for real. I'm dead. I'm dead.
Ty can have success.
I want Ty to have success, especially. I hate the Rackley deal is not working out as great as he'd hoped right now. And Austin, was tearing it up in trucks, tearing it up in the Nationwide Series back then. There's the 2 words, Bonte, that you need to say. He's just not gonna say it. He's just dead quiet.
You just not gonna use manners, bro. You don't have no tooth.
No, I'm just prone on that man downfall. But you go ahead and finish.
Bonte, did you not
say excuse me for belching on a live recording? It's disgusting.
No,
you get lights too bright,
bro. You hit him with the Barney Gumble burp, man. Good God. Oh, right. Anyway, but yeah, my light's too bright as RCR. I hope they prove me otherwise this weekend at Talledega.
Doubt it.
Yeah. I mean, so anyway.
I found my lights too bright. I still got to give it to Thad. Sir, the angle of that wheel. I don't believe you, bro. I'm sorry. I don't believe you. And you lucky that trucks don't have in-car cameras, because I would prove to you that you turned that wheel or you took it off the hub. I think you did it on purpose.
Probably.
I think you weren't having fun. And to everybody's point earlier, you unplug the controller and you like, I'm out. I'm out for a month.
Or you got Xbox.
We got a month off. I see y'all in Kansas, and he went to go play Xbox. So
he went to Buc-ee's. What are you talking about?
You went somewhere.
Brisket on the board.
Man, they got. I went to that Buc-ee's like last year when I was down that way, and they got this pork loin that is jalapeno and cream cheese stuff.
Oh God.
Phenomenal. I took it home. Dang. I smoked it for about 4.5 hours. Insane. Now it's like $20.
I don't care.
It's a lot of money. They're proud of that.
Going in there spending $40 on brisket
sandwiches.
I mean,
they're proud of. Look. I'm gonna tell you something, man. we're getting one down the street from my house. It's on the other end of town, and Arkansas roads are so poorly designed. It takes me 20 minutes to get from one side of town to the other. But you best believe I will drive 20 minutes every day that I'm home for a large Dr. Pepper from Buc-ee's, because the only fountain where Dr. Pepper tastes good is at Buc-ee's.
Yep.
And some fudge and a chopped brisket sandwich. And I know there are people out there like, it's not that good brisket because it was frozen. Hey, bro, look, I don't care.
Cares?
It is Buc-ee's frozen ass brisket that they warmed up. Y'all go crazy for Panera's mac and cheese that they just put in hot ass water.
Overrated.
I will gladly eat the frozen, not fresh Buc-ee's chopped brisket.
Exactly.
So anyway,
no cheese.
Shout out to Buc-ee's.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Buc-ee's always.
It's my turn.
Golly. You went. You burped.
No. And next. My turn. My light's too bright. It's Chase Briscoe. Because my man, he driving like an ass yesterday in that race. This is not the second time, not the first time, the second time that you almost ended Bubba's chance for a top 10 and almost ended Bubba's race. The first time he slept the corner, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Second time he was just in the way. I'm like, dog, really? Give me flashbacks from last year Texas race. We could have won that race. Damn it. Who was my other light so bright? Ross Chastain. But he choked.
Oh, I forgot to talk about that. Yeah, going off. Yeah.
Man, like, what are you doing, bro? Like you could have won this race, but instead you choked. But your fault. I'm done.
Well, you can't just say that. Carl can expand on that, Carl.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't think he choked, man. I mean, it was just a late race deal, and he just got loose, and William Byron straight up just drove through him.
He really did, because Willie didn't lift.
Yeah, which is an inverse of Daytona. So it's just like, well, hey, you get what you give, man. I just it's as I've said before, Ross Chastain drives exactly how he looks, and I can't elaborate on that at all. But no, I mean, it just.
I wish you would elaborate on that.
You look at him, and then you look at what has happened, and you go, that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's just like
okay.
It's like
Jared is dying.
It's I don't know how else to describe it. I really don't know how else to describe it. You're at the gas station, and like right before you get in the gas station, some like Ford Ranger that is like missing like fenders and has like 3 mismatched tires cuts you off, and you catch up to him, and you go inside, and this guy like smells like copper because he's been stealing it all day, and he gives $20 in scratch off tickets and $5 in gas. And like, okay, this makes sense. I don't know how
this guy would make the randomest shit I've ever heard.
You live in Saline County, Arkansas long enough.
He had a bad day on the road. He's been
No, I'm just saying.
These are all accurate descriptions, though. That's the worst
part. No, he ain't wrong, though.
Completely accurate.
I'm just saying. You look at Ross Chastain. You look at Darlington in 2023. You look at him wrecking JJ Yeley who was a lap down at Dover. And you go, okay, no, this was
Brendan Poole.
He would do. Brendan Poole. I'm sorry, whatever. It's all the same 15 car. And you're like, okay, this is something that he would do. So I don't know. I just think it was humorous to me that he was like, I don't have any comments, and he was like too mad to talk about it. And it's like, my brother in Christ, like the shoe is absolutely on the other foot. And honorable mention for Lights Too Bright, by the way. I don't know if I saw the picture, but Tyler Reddick had on some fantastic white and blue Jordans. 11s, I want to say.
The military blue Forest.
Yes, Forest. It was riding a scooter with them on that like torn up ass. Bro, if I'd have seen that in person, I'd have whooped his ass.
Come on, man.
No way.
Not Tyrone.
No way. You gonna disrespect some just
can't disrespect those, man. Those
iconic. Yeah, you ride a scooter like
you
ride a scooter like Stewie Griffin.
He worked for the man.
I don't know. Bro.
He can't do that. You gotta throw the team Jordans on when you do something like that, man. You can't pull the fours out.
If I go on the resale website right now and try to get those suckers, it's probably like $600.
It's gonna hurt.
And this man out here scooting in $600 sneakers. No, get away from me, bro. You're gonna see some beast unleashed. I see that in my face. I'm trying to stop from cussing because I keep forgetting to mark the time. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, buddy. There's gonna be some surprises in this episode.
Art, who do you have for Lights Too Bright?
Hello, everybody.
Oh, brother.
What it do, my boy?
Let me check my clock. Let him get it out of the system. All right. So, did anybody say Ryan Sieg? Because I think he's got to be my ultimate Lights Too Bright. Anybody call him?
Oh, wow.
What? Interesting. Why is that?
Because he didn't wreck Sam Mayer. That's why.
No, because he didn't think to block the guy's line when he's coming and chasing you down from half a second in one lap, and you say, I'm going to run a half line above him and just give him clean air. I'm sitting there screaming at the TV saying, come on, buddy, like just block his line and at least make him move around a little bit.
I feel like he
Sam
had something happen though, and that's why he couldn't. Like
I mean, he was able to move it around on that last corner. He moved Sam up into the wall. It moved pretty well. And like, I'm obviously a Sam Mayer fan, but I don't mind. I wasn't going to be mad if Ryan won that race. Cause like this dude's been around forever. Like I don't know anything bad about him. Like he's a guy who's just out here trying to get a win, but that just kind of goes to show, like, if you're not used to running up front, like you have to do something to slow down his momentum. You know, I don't care what you have to do. Get your Joey Logano pants on and just mirror drive if you have to. That was just a brutal end to the race for me for him. And I think that's going to haunt him for a long time. I mean, he might not ever get back. It took him 12 years to get here. And I don't think he's got another 12 years in the seat. So he's my big Lights Too Bright. In the Cup Series, I mean, it was kind of a show. I'm gonna give this Lights Too Bright to the Cup Series overall, just because they continue to give me terrible races, and I know I've missed the entire episode. I literally just got the car 5 minutes ago, but I hated Texas. I hated Martinsville. I really didn't like Richmond. So we're going to Dega. So I'm gonna give a Lights Too Bright to the Cup Series for continuing to give me piss poor performances out of their top series. Xfinity continues to dog walk them every week, and every race feels like a pro wrestling script. I can call it out before it happens. So I'd really like to see something other than, you know, a late race caution. Oh, we're gonna have a restart with 3 to go. How convenient! No one can pass the whole race.
We're gonna keep it in caution for 9 laps, so we have to go to overtime.
I mean, like the script.
Yeah, that did seem deliberate
at this point. Like it's so obvious.
So obvious.
Like there's like 7 tracks maybe on the whole fucking schedule now that like you are actually entertaining to watch, because everyone else just rides along and you can't pass anybody, and it's just horrible. Like the only way you can win a race now is to get the pole, get the number 1 pit stall, and win a late race off pit road. Like it's the only way anymore. And you'll go side by side, and the car on the outside won't be able to stick, and then you'll have clean air and you'll drive away. Like it's been the same song and dance with this car from year 2. And I'm mad. I missed, last week to rant about it, but I just hate the fact that this car is so predictable. Kyle Larson was such a clean air merchant this week, driving away from the field. But then as soon as he gets back in 20th, he's dead in the water. Like, I'm not the biggest Kyle Larson fan, but I feel like he should be able to motor from beyond 25th to 20th in 70 laps, but he can't because nobody can pass in this car. Like, I absolutely hate it. And it's just so aggravating because I'm sitting there watching what I think is the greatest form of motorsports in the world, and I'm going to sleep every week. Like, I absolutely hate, like, Xfinity, great. And, and the other thing I would say is I've learned also this week that until they fix this dog food of a car, like, I'm not going to blame any racetracks for a while, because I've realized that it's not fair for me to judge a Richmond, even a Texas, except on the fact that this car is so bad. It's just so awful that I can't give them a fair judgment, except for Phoenix. Phoenix is still dog food and always will be. Like, he will always be bottom tier. But every other track, like, I'm giving you a pass. You get a pass, fail, like, exemption, because I sit there and watch this Xfinity race at Texas. I'm expecting to be terrible, and it's a solid race. Like, it's a solid race. It wasn't amazing jumping off my screen, but I sat there, I watched it. I didn't fall asleep, which I almost did in the Cup race for like the 4th week in a row. So I would really, really love to see these tracks that, I've been bad mouthing for 2 years have a shot now, because it was just the epiphany for me. Oh, it's probably not just y'all. Like, I'm sure they could be improved, but this car is just so terrible. And I'm sorry to kind of come in here and take over for like 5 minutes, but I just am so sick of this car. And, last week we hear, oh, we're working with Goodyear, do everything we can to fix this. Does anyone in here honestly believe that? Did anybody sit here, raise their hand? Anybody listen? If anybody's listening to this show that really believes that NASCAR is doing everything in their power to fix this car, please tweet us, because I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to get a deep dive into how you see the world, because it shouldn't be that hard in 3 years to have a tire that wears. Like, you had it for years. They're going to do everything but the one thing that everybody and their mother has been crying for, which is give them some more horsepower so the tires actually will wear. Then you get a tire that's amazingly chaotic at Bristol, and then you never see it again. Like, they stashed that thing with the T-Rex in the closet and said, we're never going to show that again. So I'd have zero faith right now in this sanctioning body to actually do what's necessary to give us a product that's going to be amazing week in, week out. And it just frustrates me to no end, because I love this product. Like, I love this sport. I love the characters. Like, you have everything in place except the most important thing, which is the on-track product. And it's just so frustrating to see. Like I said, every week I watch the race and I'm like, okay, we're going to get strung out and we'll have the stage caution and we'll bunch back up. Or so we'll get loose because this car snaps around at, the slightest twitch. And then we'll have a caution and we'll have pit road. And if you didn't have a good pit stall, you're dead in the water and you'll have no chance on a late restart. And that late restart will come. I don't care if there's 20 laps to go. We will get a green, white checkered. They will drag it out to infinity because they have to get out, the feather duster and scrape off every little piece of gravel and debris off the track. And it's going to take all of those 18 laps. And I hate it. I hate it so much. Like, I'm not even mad that Chase won. I'm not an anti-Chase guy. The fact that Chase won is going to skew everyone's poll results for if this is a good race or not. But I just want quality racing product. Like, just give me what I want, to quote Dave Bautista. Just give me what I want, and they won't do it. So I'm giving them the lights too bright, and I pray that one day and I know it's not gonna get fixed this season. I know it's like week 8 and I'm gonna have to suffer with this for like 30 more weeks of my life and like come on here and talk about it. And every Sunday I just sit down and I pray that the script got ripped up or lost in the mail and the facts didn't go through, but every week it just comes through and it's the same thing over and over again. So I just really am frustrated about that. So I just had to get that off my chest real quick. I'm sorry I missed 98% of the show, but they just have to do better, man. Like this, we had the most popular driver win his first win in a year and a half, and there was a smattering of applause because there's almost nobody in the stands. Like, that's not Chase's fault, but like, you can't look at that grandstand. I'm sitting there watching. I was like, wow, there's like 35 people here. There's nobody there. Like, this is the most popular guy. Like, and it was like, he just, made a par 4. There's nobody out there.
But that's and what we've been saying the last few weeks. And what I said is that's why I'm tired of hearing these, oh, this track has to get off the schedule. No, that's not the solution to this. Like, you're just passing the problem on. It is. But you're passing the problem on to the other tracks that are still on the schedule. That's not fixing the problem. The problem was with the car. Veteran drivers are saying the problem is with the car. Go fix it. I'm tired of having this conversation too. Like, it's just, it's getting stupid now.
Yeah, it's like I said earlier, or you weren't here for it, but again, it's just at some point, like, they need to admit they were wrong, right? Like, they were so excited about this car, because like the concept of this car like started all the way back in like 2015, 2016. Like, they were trying to figure out like what the next great platform was going to be, and for a while they were thinking side force and went with that, and all this other kinds of stuff. They were so excited for this car because it was going to be like a marketing solve all your problems, right? Because you have this OEM built car, this relatively spec car, you've got, a lower horsepower limit. And so it's like, you're going to have parity, and it's going to be, the drivers are what's going to matter in X, Y, and Z. And then they didn't test it. They didn't let the team test it. They were just like, yeah, it is what it is. They rolled it out. It didn't work. It was a death trap when they rolled it out. It still is just not good. And I think what's the most exhausting thing about all this at this point in time is like everybody, but the teams, the fans, the drivers are all sort of saying the same thing. And it's like there's one party that is remaining silent. And it's like, okay, look, we are all on the same page here. Like, come outside. We're not going to jump you. Like, you just need to just accept that. Like, you guys were wrong. Fix the car and go away. And also, Keanu reminded me of a great point that I had, and I meant to bring it up last week, and the week before last. Everybody was like, we got to stop going to Martinsville. We got to stop going to Richmond. Look, first and foremost, man, I feel like, in this day and age of like, something doesn't work, we just stop going to a track. There are certain tracks in NASCAR that I feel like out of honor and respect, we should always go to and should probably have 2 dates, like your Richmonds, your Bristols, your Martinsvilles, your Charlotte, and your Darlington. And it's just like, I understand that they're not great to watch now, but it's like, it has not always been like that. And I mean, if we went to a place and it was just always horrendous, then I could understand it. We're going back to the Indy Oval this year, and even when we still had horsepower, we were like, we need to stop going here because this track is not conducive for stock car racing. But for the most part, the rest of the schedule has always been solid. They've always had good races at most of the places we go to. It's just there's this one element that needs to be fixed. And so I think saying like we should take away a Texas day or Richmond day is such a cop out, man. Like I just don't think we should be complacent in a bad product. And the governing body of the sport has delivered a bad product. End of story. I mean, like I don't get it. It's the same thing with F1, and that's a different conversation. But there's all these like revisionists and apologists now for like the new package, and it's like, look, dude, it sucks. Your data was wrong. Fix it. End of story. So anyway.
The fact that not you, but like the fact that the argument is saying we should leave Martinsville and Bristol and take them off the schedule tells you that you've completely lost the plot.
Yeah, that's insane.
100%.
Completely lost the plot. Like these are, like you said, they're literally the cornerstones. Like, okay, then we'll just run Daytona and Atlanta and Dega for 36 weeks. We'll just do a 3-race loop schedule and we'll just run those 3 tracks every week. And then, we'll crash 100,000 cars a year. Like what else do you want? Like, what else do you really want? Like, and I agree, like this kind of goes back to the Corey LaJoie syndrome. I'd much rather you admit that you made a mistake and just own up to it and fix it than just deny any culpability. There's no responsibility. It's everyone else's fault. It's the driver's fault. It's the team's fault. It's like, no, bro. Like, you made a car that isn't good enough. Like, it's okay. Like, just fix it. If you just have to go back and give them the Xfinity cars for 2 years at the Cup level, do it. Like, we'd much rather that than have to sit here and watch the carousel racing. I'm going to continue using that term until they fix it. But this carousel racing every single week where no one can pass. Like, no one can pass. Someone, who was it? Ross had a quote this week that came out that said, if I pass somebody off turn 2, I'm actually celebrating in the car going down the backstretch because I did something I didn't think was possible. Passing a car, my brother in Christ, calls for a celebration. Like, that's how low we are. It's so crazy to me. And like, you've got some people that will absolutely carry NASCAR's water. And we've said it on this show much time. Like, you get praise when you get it, you get flack when you deserve it. But they'll sit there and tell you, this was a great race, or, oh, the product's better than ever. Well, you're getting a bunch of money from TV, which is great. But I promise you, when no one's in the stands, no one's going to want to watch that. Like, it's the idea that everything is perfect is the absolute example of burying your head in the sand, ignoring the problem. And like, it's not going to go away. Like, you can't just weather the storm and hope you'll fix this. You've put this car to where the teams are in such a box. They can't do anything on it but air pressures. And you got a tire that won't wear, so you can't do air pressures. And you can't adjust it. And so you can't do anything if you're not in clean air. So what do you expect to happen? And you can't pass because they'll just downshift and pull back ahead. Like, I just am so confused and frustrated. I'm like looking around like, what has happened to the sport that I love, to where, you're a Cup champion, one of the best cars in the garage, and you can't get out 20th with 70 laps to go. Like, I'm not expecting you to drive back up to the win, but like, you tell me that car can get a top 10 and it was whipping the field by 6 seconds at the start of the race, but because he doesn't have clean air now, he can't do anything. Like, come on. Like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like Kyle Larson isn't talented enough to do that. Like, it's the fact that this car is trash. Like, Jimmy Johnson, 7-time champ, can't make a qualifying lap. Like, come on. Kyle Busch, 2-time champ, can make a qualifying lap. But you're going to tell me like all of these guys that have these huge reputations and are great, but they suddenly can't drive this car, but it's their fault? Like, no, come on. Like, stop. Don't lie to me, please. Just fix it. Just give us back the old car. Give us the Xfinity car. Like, but I know what they're going to do. They're just going to keep doing it. And then they'll come out with, next gen in like 2027. And then hopefully that'll be good. But who has the faith in that right now? Like, I don't have any faith. I've said this before. I don't have any faith right now in the sanctioning body to get it right because they haven't got anything right in a long time when it comes to the on-track product. The best thing they did was push up the clash time because of the weather. That's the best call they made all year. And it's April. So what are we doing? Like, what are we really doing? I don't get it. I hate it. And like, I can't go to F1 because I think that's just pretentious and boring to me to watch one guy whip the field every week. IndyCar is a mess. So like, I'm sitting here waiting patiently every Sunday with my juice and my snack, and I'm hoping for a good product. And every week I turn off the TV and went, okay, well, that went how we expected it. Like, what am I supposed to do? And I'm sure there's lots of folks out there who are frustrated. Like, the drivers are frustrated, the teams are frustrated, but like, they can only play in the sandbox you gave them. So.
It's so frustrating that this is like the state of it when like NASCAR now has this really exciting deal with Netflix and like all this stuff. It's like you're drawing so many people in with this exciting show that it's like perfectly situated to bring new fans in. And then this is what you're giving us every weekend. And you have all these fans who have been around for years who are saying like, hey, this is not what this should be like. And we're getting told that we're wrong or that like we're, oh, it was better at the track. Like that shouldn't be the case. That shouldn't be what we're saying every Sunday. At the end of the Sunday is like, oh, well, if you were at the track, it was a really good race. Like, yeah, because you have the environment. Like it doesn't matter if the race was like legitimately good or not. If you're at the track, you're going to have more fun. And to just brush everybody off and say like, oh, well, it was the broadcast. Like, no, it wasn't. Like, yeah, the broadcast has its issues, but you can't blame the broadcast. You can't blame the teams. You can't blame the drivers. Like, nope. To your points, it's a bad package. Like, just own it. Own up to it.
Yeah. I mean, when we were at Richmond, they probably had a solid 35, 40 laps of that race that were great. The only problem was like a 250 lap race. So TV can't fix all of it. Like you said, they've got a lot of problems, but there's much bigger problems. I don't know where you go from here because everyone it seems like is screaming the same things, but the people in charge, like the heads of the tables, are saying everything's fine. Like Rome is burning, and we're saying no, everything's fine. Like, what are you talking about? I don't understand it. So maybe that's why I don't run the company, because we would have had big turnover by now.
You're fired. What was that? Who y'all got for Talledega?
Bubba Wallace. End of discussion. Just cut the episode. That's it. Bubba Wallace.
Whoever gets the poll.
That's dark, right?
No. This is like the one place that doesn't matter.
we gonna get something.
There's gonna be a pit stop with less than 20 to go, and whoever has pit stall 1 will win it, and they'll probably win the race. They'll lead the inside.
That's really dark,
right? I want Bubba Wallace to win it, right? Social redemption for last year, but more importantly, man, what I would consider a win is if we don't have this. It's a 188 lap race. If we don't have this 186 laps of like trying to make sure you're lined up with the right manufacturer and the right team, or whatever, and letting off all the kind of stuff they saw in like the fall race last year, like. As long as there's not that, and it's not, which I have a feeling in my bones it's going to be a Hendrick car going back to back, but we'll see. But I would love to see Bubba Wallace win it. I feel like he can do it, so that's what I'm going to go with.
Now, if we remember what Denny said before the 500, the gloves are off. And he told his team the same thing. To hell with manufacturer alliance. You get with who you think can get you to the front and go get it. So, I guess I too shall pick the Lido Supreme 23 car. I don't really care who wins the Xfinity race. I just know that somebody's gonna flip twice. There'll be 2 cars. Like I sense the terrorism coming. I think Austin Hill and Sheldon Creed are gonna see bumper to bumper again, and one of them gonna end up on a deck lid. So we'll see.
Wow.
If
it'd be cool if Noah Gragson won, or one of the legacy cars.
If they had performance yesterday, I'd probably be right there with you, Carl. But
yeah,
I don't trust John Hunter Nemechek. I actually trust him less than I trust Martin Truex, which is very strange for me to say.
John's gonna
I
get
can't believe
there.
He just left my mouth. That's wild.
I have all the confidence in the world in baby Nemechek. He's gonna get there. I refuse to believe someone who's been as talented as he is the last couple of years isn't gonna like climb to the last step of the deal in Philadelphia and do the Rocky, Adrian. I believe he's gonna do it. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, so. he's good. Like I don't, all his little antics aside, like he's still a very, very good racer. Like I would not want to be against him in anything, honestly. Like I would be terrified to race him. So,
Jared, who do you have for Talledega?
I mean, it'd be good to see it all pay off for Bubba. So that's what I got to go with.
Vonta, you think Christopher Bell gonna win?
Yes, sir. That's foul.
Bro, really, bro?
Yeah, man.
My boy, but I don't think he can win. I mean, but if Bubba can like have that same energy like he did last year, Dega in the spring race without the extra damn blocks, I think he'll get it done.
Lord.
Can I make a real pick since I was being a sourpuss? I'll go Logano. I feel like the Fords will figure it out.
About to mute you and kick you out of here.
I feel like they're gonna figure it out.
Dude, out of here.
You gonna let Hairpiece win the race? Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I had a car and a fire suit. That's crazy. I didn't realize I had agency in who wins the race. Ford.
You actually do. Art.
Aggression?
I can. When I were on that subject, clearly you didn't set your fantasy lineup properly because you finished almost last this week.
I didn't say it at all. I didn't say it at all. If you knew the week I had, I didn't have no time.
So JTD won the fantasy race this week with Larson, Denny, Chase Briscoe, Bubba, and Reddick as the starters. So that's where that is, and then the standings in the league currently, I'm winning because I'm better than everybody. I have a 7-point lead over JTD, who has a 2-point lead over Art. So, questions, comments, concerns? Did we miss anything? Arthur came in guns blazing. Anybody else got anything else to add?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Did y'all talk good about Sam Mayer?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Only good things, right? Only good things.
Yeah, it's only good
Look,
things.
it wasn't us last week, so
only good things.
Yeah, that's right. Clutch.
We are usually pro Sam Mayer. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But yeah,
most of us.
That wasn't. Yeah.
All right. I look forward to the episode.
No, you don't.
Oh yeah, no, trust me.
Just trust us. Just want to thank Jared for staying up past her bedtime to come hang out with us.
Absolutely.
You are welcome back anytime without all of these hooligans here. It's a quieter show when somebody gets left out. I'll remember that for next time.
I would have loved to have just been playing Red Dead Redemption 2 the last couple hours.
But with that, ladies and germs, I guess we'll see y'all after Talledega. I don't know what y'all's schedule look like, but we've always wanted to do like a live react thing.
Oh, are we looking at a Monday race?
If we get what we desire, which is a Monday race and some more rain and a certain Litos cars out front. That's all I got to say about that. Until then, we out.
I don't know. I barely survived get my Twitter account not getting banned last time that happened. Now I can't do it a second time. But anyway, yeah, we'll see y'all next week. Love y'all.
Cue my new music, sponsored by Peacock and NBC.
Oh, peace out, y'all.
Art isn't here for that one.
Yeah,
That's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah.
Bye, y'all.
Big money.